Hello, everybody. This is Coney. I'm here at GOML 2022 with the grand champion of Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Onin is here. Onin, what a hell of a run, brother.
Yeah, it was insane. I did not expect to win at all. I was like 7th seed. Dude, I thought I was already like seeded high enough. I thought I was seeded too high actually.
You know, it's really funny. I talked to a bunch of people, and they were like, yeah, Onin's going to win. So a lot of people had a lot more faith in you than I guess you did.
Yeah, that's one of like my biggest like I guess low points as a player is that I don't have a lot of confidence in myself, honestly. I don't know. I've been working on it, but my region always like they're always there for me. It's always nice to have.
Yeah, you saw a lot of people in the crowd that were cheering you on, trying to push it. I mean, like, it's got to be really difficult being, you know, one of the things that you're talking about is not having confidence, but you're really young, right? Like, you're 15,
Yeah.
right? 16 now, okay. People always get those ages wrong. So you're 16, but, like, you don't have much tournament experience. This has got to be the first time you've had anything like that, right? The whole crowd, the lights. What was that like?
Dude, it's so oh my god, I can't even begin to describe it. Like I won combo breaker and that wasn't like as big as this, so I was like, okay, you know, that's cool. Like I was happy for a while. And I'm so happy about it that I won that. But this is like a completely like this is a whole different level, dude. Like it's insane. Like the crowd was like at least 3 times bigger. Like oh my god, there was actually like a bigger crowd of people from my region cheering for me. Like pretty much all the left side was only my region. So it feels good. It feels really good.
I got to ask you, you know, being, you know, only 16 and being in the spotlight like this, how do you feel when you have the crowd sort of rooting against you? You know that they want the Ice Climbers to win. You're in Canada. It's their country. Does that phase you? I know that you said you don't have a lot of confidence. Do you have the nerves? Is that an issue for you?
Nerves. I definitely do have a lot of nerves. Like I remember seeing like the end of like game 4. I didn't know what to do. I just kept autopiloting the minecarting, dude. It was so bad. But like, as long as I have headphones on, like the crowd doesn't really get to me. Like I've worked on like crowds, like because I know people, you know, not big fans of Steve, so
That's an understatement. Yeah.
you get used to it after a while, like because you know everyone doesn't like Steve. You get used to it.
Yeah, I can imagine that's got to be really difficult. I mean, at the top level, when it feels like you're fighting, you know, the top of the top, and then having that in the back of your mind. So as you were going through the bracket, at one point you were down 0-2 against Big D, and then you really made some heavy adaptations. Seemed like you were using a lot more back air, like lingering back air to hit both Popo and Nana. What was that like when you're down 0-2 against somebody like that, especially a character that's so rare like Ice Climbers? Like, you're never running into that.
Okay, so at COS 2022, I was down 0-2 against Zenodo, and I was like, I pretty much, like, when I go down 0-2 because I have, like, no confidence in myself, I'm just like, okay, this set is kind of over. I'm just going to start running in and kind of throwing myself away. But I feel like when I started running in at Big D, it worked. It backfired. It was weird. Like, I don't know. Sometimes when I just don't care enough, I just start running in, throwing out hitboxes, but it works. So, I don't know, dude. It's so weird.
Well, it might work against players that need more like setup time, or like what you might be doing is just making better decisions sort of in the short term. There's some players that work better at that short range, and you might be one of those, you know, and they need a little bit more time.
Yeah, because usually what I do at like the start of game 1, my whole game plan is to just camp, get diamond, and then I actually play the game. But when that doesn't work, I start like, oh my god, what do I do now? So I just start playing aggressive. It usually works. Sometimes it doesn't, but most of the time, it'll work. So that's usually what like my adaptation game is like. Like, if camping isn't working, I just start going aggro, and usually it does a lot better than camping. I don't know why I don't do it at the start.
Well, if you did it too much, people probably start like.
They catch on to it, but
It's a good game plan to switch up pace, though. Was there anybody that you were fighting that you were going into, whether it's Cola, Big D, Riddles? Was there anybody that you were like, oh, geez, like I'm not ready for this? Somebody that you were especially nervous for, or were you pretty like calm all the way through?
Cola was definitely like, I lost to him at Glitch Infinite. I lost because he up-B'd, right? Because I was near his shield, right? So he's in free fall, right? He's on top of it's small battlefield. He's on the platform. I think he's going to land on the platform. But he falls through, and I prematurely up-smash, and then he F-smashed me. So that kind of hurt because it was so close. It was literally last hit, last stock. So when I had to play Cola today, I was especially nervous because I was like, man, this is like my redemption arc. I could beat him today. I lost him like 7 months ago. Yeah, so I really wanted to beat him today, but that also kind of like man, I really have to beat him today. So that kind of got to me too.
Yeah, I mean, but showing your level of adaptation in that set. I mean, he was trying out Cloud, tried Roy a few times. Seemed like he was really having a tough time spacing around Minecart specifically. Like, he would pop it out at different times, and it seemed like he wasn't really ready for it. When it does come to this whole conversation, I mean, I've seen your Twitter you know what I mean? Like, the whole ban Steve thing. I think everybody who knows what they're talking about knows that Steve isn't really bannable. But how do you really feel about it? Especially, like, do you have anything to say to the people out there that just want to complain, you know?
Okay, I honestly do think Steve, I think he's broken. I wouldn't say he's top 1. I do think he's very stupid, but yeah, again, not bannable.
Well, so are all the good characters, right? For different reasons.
I think people just don't like Steve because, like, they're scared of him. They don't know what they can and can't punish. Like, a lot of Steve, I feel like you need to play every good Steve at least once to really understand. Because Steve, he can mix up his playstyles a lot. So I guess people are just like, they don't know what to do against like every single playstyle. Cause Steve, yeah, he can mix it up a lot. It's crazy. Like me, Jake, Yanni, we play nothing alike.
Yeah, there's a lot of variability in the playstyle. Even being able to switch up the tempo, like you said, just being able to camp or just go super hard. So to wrap things up, because we're about to take off, I don't mean to hold you too long. In terms of, you know, if people really do want to learn Steve, do you have any, like, one single tip that you'd be able to offer people, just like, this is something to look out for, anything that you want to tell people in terms of learning that matchup specifically?
Stop approaching when he has diamond. Like, I can't stress that enough. Like, it's insane. Like, people don't. Okay, so Samus, for example, the way to beat her is usually you want to stay at like a grab range, like right outside her grab range, right? Because that's usually at the point where you can react to charge shot too. I feel like Steve also has like a range like that where like you
like a mid range kind of in that
range.
phase.
You want to stay outside like at all times. I know a lot of like not all characters have like burst options that can like punish Steve for that, but I feel like every character has at least one good tool. So when Steve has wood, I feel like that's when you should be like going in, hitting him as much as you can, especially when he has no iron. When Steve has no iron, that's when you have to like, you gotta go in, dude.
Sure, yeah. I noticed that at one point in the Cola set, you had no materials.
That's when he started going in. That's when I started getting nervous. I was like, dude, I have to get back to stage. I have to start mining, or else I'm gonna die because my disadvantage is 10 times worse without iron. I got no minecart, no anvil, no nothing.
Yeah, he was super rushing you down. So, so what's next for Onin? Are we gonna see you at anything soon? Double Down? Any other events coming up, or you just staying mostly in here?
I'm not going to Double Down. I am planning on going to Super Smash Con and Let's Make Big Moves Miami.
Awesome.
I also saw the Let's Make Big Moves, the one in New York, the trailer. Yeah. I'm looking out for that one. I went to that one last year. I kind of flopped, but I'm better now. So.
You're bigger now, and this is a huge win under your belt. Onin, thank you so much for your time, brother. Really appreciate it. Winner of GOML 2022, guys. Remember to subscribe. We do interviews like these all the time. Keep it locked. We'll see you next time.